Hi everybody, how you guys doing? Okay, we're on our next part of our mixed media. I think it's part 4, maybe? Gotta look. So, we got all our stuff, it's dry. This actually came out much thicker than I wanted it, thicker like I wanted it. The crackle paste didn't come out as thick, it's still texture. I wish it was a little thicker, I'm not gonna complain. So now is when you're going to decide whether you are going to, what the heck's that thing down there? Whether you're going to have your page facing horizontally when you hang it and when you're done, or vertically. Yeah, vertically. I am going to be doing horizontally because my page is pretty big. You know, if you're doing a book or your mixed media thing, it's up to you. Like if I was doing this in a book, obviously this would have been horizontal anyway. So, but for me or anybody else who just, who did it on a piece of paper like I did, that's what your next choice should be. Now, a lot of people don't like doing faces. A lot of people do. So I thought on this one, I'm going to do like a folksy kind of thing. I'm not going to do a face, because I have our goddesses coming up that we're going to be doing, and that's going to be a face, and we will do step by step to make, many of you have probably seen my goddess. It's on my picture on YouTube. It's on my picture on my Facebook right now. And I did that all on my own, and I love it, and I thought it would be really fun for us to make our own goddesses to hang in our, our area, our home, your art room, whatever, that represent us. And something, like I said, it could be, which we'll discuss more when we get into it, but I think it'll be a lot of fun to do together. And then you guys can see the, we can like upload them to FLICKR, and everybody can see each other's, and, just have some fun. So I'm very excited about that. That's going to be coming up in a while. I got a lot of fun things that I have planned coming up. So let's get started. So since I chose my my mixed media part to come this way, I'm going to put some color on now. Now, because I'm thinking of doing houses, like very folky kind of houses. So some are very thin and tall, some are small, some are, you know what I mean? So it'll be kind of like, do you dig what I'm saying? That's kind of where I'm thinking. Now, the next video I show you, it might not be that. I don't know. But before I add anything on here, and I'll probably be using scrapbook paper to add the houses themselves in. You don't have to. You can paint them on, but you can use scrapbook paper, book pages, whatever. I got to get these colored. So I'm thinking of sticking with some blues. And I'm going to go with, this is just the basics, light blue. You can use, your folk art, whatever. I use all, I use all of it. This just happens to be right underneath me. And I think I'm just going to just kind of do a little blue, tap off any extra. I'm going to take my long brush, but you use whatever brush you have. Tap off some of the water. But you want it to kind of be a little, a little bit wet so it spreads your paints. And I'm just going to go for it, and I'm going over it. Now, there's no saying, and I don't know because we know I'm very, I change my mind a lot, that we might not put some more molding paste on at the end, or after we're done painting. So, who knows? Not us. But the way the molding paste is coming through, I'm loving it. So I'm just adding some blue. It's a lighter blue, covering up some of that orange. But because I wet my brush, I have some play time. Because we don't, this is going to be more of a, how you say, a folky type thing. So we don't have to have, it's our world. We can do what we want with it. That's our kind of vibe we're going for. So then just take whatever you use. I have old rags, paper towels, whatever. I like just laying them down and giving the paper towel a push and lifting up because it gives you great texture. Can you see the texture? And then you still get some of that orange coming through. And then I fold it and I will go to the next pot and I would just press down. She says so elegantly. And I will lift up. Now I'm happy with that so far. Not hating. Not hating. Appreciating. Okay, I'm just going to wipe this off real quick because the other day I walked out of here and we had to run somewhere and I walked into the store and I was full of paint and plaster that would not come off and woo! Fun times with Kelly. Now, something you can do if you have a heat gun or a hair dryer, remember, you really only need a heat gun if you're embossing. They're great to have if you have them. I love them. I use it all the time. But some people can't and can't afford them, don't have them. So use your hair dryer. That works just as good. Or go to your local thrift store, your local thrift shop, and buy yourself a hair dryer just to use for your art. And you don't need to sit here and dry it all day so it's dry, but I want my colors to kind of layer more than blend, if I can get it. And I'm just going to stick with this top. Now you do whatever colors you want. This is just because I'm thinking, okay, you know, I'm thinking what I'm going to do on here, and I think it's going to look really, really freaking cool. Because in my head, everything's cool. It's getting it on the paper that sucks. I don't know if you guys do that, but I don't sleep well. And my greatest ideas come to me in the middle of the night. Now I'm going to rinse my brush off because I don't want that light blue on there. And then just kind of get that water off. Little chip paintbrushes. I got the most beautiful smelling candle. It's Febreze, and it was at Walmart, and it was cheap as balls because when we bought me one, my husband and daughter got like the bigger ones, and I got like a wick. It's like a wooden wick one. I don't know what it is, but it's lavender and what's the other smell? Blueberry. Lavender and blueberry. And in my little room here, I got the door shut, so. Oh my God, I got it lit and it like is so awesome. And I'm getting my altar all set up and I got my creativity candle and I got my piece of my Christmas tree, my real Christmas tree that, because we get real every year because Emily and Dave, I kind of said to him this year, you know, you want to just get a fake one? And if they could have shot me, they would. So I have my little broom and I have my thing and I'll take a picture of it or show you like once I get it all set up because I'm very excited. I'm getting there a little slow because the fibro this past week and a half has been getting worse and worse and really kicking my ass. And the weather went from like 60 to 50 to 15. And now we have like 8 inches of snow. Like Emily didn't even go to work. They closed the doctor's office where she works, and everybody got school canceled around here. And you know, so y'all know I got RA and fibro and IBS, and I have chronic fatigue syndrome. And shall I continue? Because I can. But you know, and I've been cranky. And it's a sin because it's not even, I did my ATC, a video before this of ATC because Rose Cadell had asked, you know, she couldn't, she was waiting on hearing from people for their email addresses. And it's like, I realized what I did after I did it because I meant no harm or anger. It wasn't about her. It was just like, I'm cranky and I'm not, if If you spoke to my husband and my daughter, especially when you're in severe pain and then you get cranky, I wasn't cranky at Rose. I was just cranky. Like, I was cranky. I had to get up this morning. I was cranky, you know, like just cranky. And then we cleaned out our laundry room, which is humongous. And Dave grabbed a big box of where I keep all my crystal books and Wiccan books and stuff, and he pulled them all out and brought it out for me to go through, and I start going through it, and there's all my son's yearbooks from when he was in kindergarten all the way up until 11th grade, pictures, his notebooks, his things that he would make me in school, like, and I don't think Dave realized all that was in there, and it hit me really bad. So then, like, after I got through all that and I came up and was going through the reading and all, and then I did the ATC thing, like, with Rose, and like I was like, when I was done and I uploaded, I thought, gee, I hope Rose doesn't think I was angry at her, or like I was just miserable, like I was just plain bitchy miserable, on top of the fibro, and then all that just was like, you know, when you don't expect something and then you see it and like you get that frozen feeling. Yeah, it was yeah, just one of them miserable mornings. So, you know, the ATC swap's going really, really good, so I can't complain. It's going way better than I anticipated, but yeah, I just, you know, Anyway, so you can see this brush is old, it's rusty. But if you go to Lowe's or Home Depot, you can buy the cheap, they're called, god damn it, what are they called? Oh my god, you go in the painting section where the paintbrushes are, and they're like $1 a piece, and I use them all the time. I have them over there, and they're paintbrushes like this, and they're cheap. They're called Wooden Wick something, I don't know, but they're really, really cheap, and they're this big, and these are great for like big pieces to gesso and to do your thing on. They're really cheap, and they're great to have. So I'm just going to do a few drops of the dark blue, and this is just called medium blue manganese. And I'm just gonna, now you see how good that is underneath there? You can still see the texture because I dried it. And I'll show you up close once we get there. And I'm just gonna kind of blend it in, back and forth. Bring it down. And I've been eating, like, I drink Boosts. That's what my life consists of. I eat breakfast and I drink Boosts because food makes me violently ill because I have so many damn stomach ulcers. So I drink Boosts, but I will tell you this. I have been so miserable and so sick over the month of December. And then with the fibro hitting, I've been eating, and it makes me sick. I was up all night. Scared my daughter. And because I just was up sick all night. And I know when I'm eating, it's going to make me sick. But do I care? Do you ever get in that mood? And it makes, like I said, I get violently sick. So I got to get my shit together is essentially what I'm saying. With these cheaper brushes, the little hairs come out. But they're cheap, and you can use them and then get rid of them, and then no big deal. I sometimes have dog hair when I'm sitting here. Okay, so now look at that. And you can still see that texture from the light blue underneath, but the dark blue's on top. And it's really, really cool. So I'm going to rinse my brush off and spill water everywhere because why not? And I'm going to just hit this with the heat gun or your hair dryer. Just a little bit, not much, because I'm going to add another color. Because I'm going to make a faux. Now remember, we can go over. You can see, once this is completely dry, you'll see the colors coming through still and the great papers that you put on. And I know a lot of you did like full papers on, so you're going to have some really great shit coming through. But great stuff coming, I'm so sorry, great stuff coming through. I'm cranky. But look at this. And as it dries, you'll see it come through more. See the green coming through? See the music paper? See the green coming through here? So that as that dries, it's going to bring up more of that. Now, I'm going to do this down here, more of the green shade. So I want a pretty dark green on the bottom to start. And I'm just going to use my Folk Art Grass Green. Grass Green Folk Art. It's almost empty. And I'm just going to do the same thing, just kind of run it, you know, because we're going to wet our brush, of course. Makes the paint more transparent. Makes your paint go further. I mean, of course, there's times you want to paint and you want to have it, you know, cover. You know what I'm saying? Fully, and that's awesome to use it fully. But I'm going to start down here with the dark. And I'm even going to add, just going to tip my brush in the water just a little bit to add a little bit more water. So I can bring it down here. I love the molding paste coming through. Oh, I'm in love. Yeah. And there's going to be colors coming through this too. But what I'm thinking, well, let me do this because you know I can't talk and do shit, do stuff at the same time. See, I'm evil today. I'm very miserable, and what happens is, what happens when Kelly gets miserable? Her mouth starts because I'm not thinking, and I don't like to curse on my videos, so I do apologize. I'm just having a really bad day. Okay, so we're going to do the same kind of thing with this. We're going to take our paper towel. I'll probably get a new piece because that one's kind of wet. I like these little, like the paper towels. Now you can, I suggest you go to the dollar store and you can usually get a 2-pack of paper towels for $1. And that's probably the cheapest place you can buy them and keep them where you do your art. These are the Bounty. I get these at Lowe's in like a 12-pack of these or whatever I use for the kitchen, but then I still want for in here. But these are like the select-a-size ones, and they have like a really cool pattern on them, as you can see. And I buy them at Lowe's, and they're very inexpensive. I mean, every Walmart sells them. They all sell them. But we go through paper towels like crazy because of the dogs. I have a lot of older dogs, and actually we lost one a month and a half ago. You know, we rescued them, and another one's ill now, so I'm hoping it's just the weather. And it's my husband's dog, which was his dog who passed a month and a half ago, and this is his baby, this one. So I'm just hoping like he's suffering, not suffering, but he's like having bad weather time like me. He had a really rough life. So, and we saved him and rescued him, and they were going to kill him. Most of my dogs were going to be killed, actually, and then we took them and gave them good lives, and are giving them good lives, but they're older and they weren't taken care of, and that's what happens. Okay, so I got that dry. So now I want a little lighter green going up. Do I want green gold or do I want... Let's do my favorite color. Yellow green. It's called yellow green. It's just really lime green. And I'm just going to do some ploops. Ploops. Sometimes you can do this and just do the ploops yourself. The noise. Ploop. Ploop. Stick that under there. Get off my brush. And let's get in this green. Yeah. Oh, I love this green. Now my brush is wet, remember. I'm going to kind of blend. One thing I want to do, well, why do I do that? Because I'll tell you when we get there. Sound like I'm talking to my kids when they were little. Ask, where we go? We're there yet? I'll tell you when we get there. I'll just bring the green up here because we want that to kind of blend. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to wet my brush just a bit just to get that flowing a little bit more, to get this to mix a little bit more. I love the colors popping up, coming. And remember, the more water when you go to put your paper towel on it. Now I'm just going to touch over these. I want the green still on there, but I want the dark green, but I want some of that light green because I want it to pop with that blue. Now what I'm going to do is take my paper towel and I'm just going to kind of do a lay down, pat it up, nothing fancy. No rhyme to your reason, no reason to your rhyme. And you want some of that color to still come up. You can see in this orange. Now, I'm going to get in there in a bit. But I can see some orange right here. So I'm just going to tap it a bit. Because you still want it to look mixed media. You still want it to have your colors in it. I want to get down here on that dark orange. And instead of you spilling out more paint, you know, taking more paint, if you blot, you'll pick up the extra and then just run it on the bottom. These colors look really good. And I'm loving this. This is the black stamp ink coming through. I mean, you know what I mean? Awesome. So where we blend here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my brush. Again, any brush you have is perfect. I'm going to get most of the water off and I'm going to run it to where these two blend. Because I want them to blend into each other a little bit more. Nothing major, just a little blendage. And then go back in. Oh, I'm digging it. Okay. Now, if this doesn't bother me, this little orange patch. Some people it might. If it does, you just take your paintbrush again, push most of the water out, take some of the green from somewhere, because the paint's still wet, and you can paint over it. It's not bothering me, so like I'll even take it off my pad here. Just dab some on there just so it gets some on there. But I'm not hating it. I like it. And then I'll just dry it on there. Ooh, love it. Love it. Right, so let me just give this a dry and then I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Now, if you are looking, let me just do this real quick and then I'll tell you. It's funny when you hit the molding paste, you can smell the baby powder. I love it. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. If you are, okay, see how I love the black that's coming through? You can see the black, the black, the black. If you notice on here, like here's more black crackle right down here, right? Can you see it? I might have to turn it this way. There's more black crackle down here. Well, maybe you want like to see it a little bit more coming through the green. Give it a little squirt of water and just take your paper towel and just give it a very good scrub. Plus, remember, you can print, we're going to stamp over again, so on some of the things. And then that little piece will come through. Same over here. It'll just bring it out more. Anywhere that you see that you want some of that, more of that color to come through. Okay, now I see here I need some more of the light green. I'll probably just use my rag here because my next technique, I'll put a little bit on my finger. What the heck to do with it? Oh, God, excuse me. Excuse me. I'm just going to put a little bit on my finger like that. And I'm just going to go in like this because it's wet. I can blend it out. It'll go on there and dry. No problem. Oh, good God. Okay, now I'm good. Now, I'm loving this. But what we're going to do now is we want to find, and that means I have to really look for it. But for you guys, I would do anything. I would do anything at all. But I won't do that. That I don't know exactly what it is. I'm pretty open to doing anything. Okay, let's see. Ask my husband. Burr, burr, burr. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. To please, I tell you, I think the Dilaudid kicked in. Could be. Could be. Okay, good. All right. Just let me take 6 hours to put this back up here. Okay. Here we go. Here's the fun part. I picked up Thunder Blue, which obviously is a very dark blue. And I also picked up Brilliant Ultramarine. Okay, Folk Art, dark blue. You want a dark blue. I think I might stick with this one. We're going to see. I also picked up, this is Americana, and it's from Deca Art, and it's just called Holly Green. It's just, you just want a darker green than what you have. So we'll start with the green first. And what we're going to do is, okay, so you can see up here, so I can move this. We're going to take just a little teeny squirt, just like that. I'm talking like, psst, like, you know, like if you laugh too much sometimes and you pee. Okay, anyway. And you can use, if you have, and I'm not going to use it because if you guys don't have it, I want to show you how you can do it this way. But if you have a sponge, or I use a lot of makeup. I go to the dollar store and buy a lot of cosmetic wedges. Okay, so you can use those. It's great. Just take your, you want your paper towel to be dry. This might not be dry enough. Let's see. I'll just refold it this way and see if I can get it. Because you just want a little bit. You just want to fold it like this and kind of dab it in. And then like you want it to be dabbed like that. So when we lightly hold on to this, and I'm going to fuck over the green. When we lightly hold on to this, we're going to lightly go over the green and pick up, and I'll show this closer, all that great molding paste. And don't be afraid to go back in if it's not picking up enough, because you know if you're using a paper towel, it's going to grab some of it. All those good edges are going to grab all that great texture. Now, if I would have done this a little thicker, I'd have a little bit more texture. I didn't on this. Am I disappointed? No. Because it's still giving me what I want. It didn't have to be a clear picture. I don't need it to be a clear picture. I wasn't making a picture of leaves, if that makes sense. If you went on here and were doing specific, so you had your leaves, then yes, you want to pay more mind. To me, it was just getting some texture on here. So you just rub, and if you need more green, you just go get the more darker green. Now this right here is green. And I'll hit that green. Probably going to need a little bit more green. I don't want to wet it because I want it to pick up oh my God. I wanted to pick up just that top bit of texture. That might have been a little too much of a squeeze, but we'll just tap in there anyway. And then just tap off. Pretend like you're fancy. But I still have to do this one. Very light. You're I mean, you're hardly holding it. And you're going in. And go the other way. Because you're going to grab different parts. You see what I'm saying? Go the other way. And it just makes them pop. Now, I didn't have as much light on this one down here. So, if I want, I can go over it with light. You see the difference with the light and the dark? Of how it does. So, if I want to get more of my light paint and then touch it over, I definitely can. And you can too. Then let's do this bad boy over here. So I wasn't too worried about it running or coming off the paint. And it's picking up all that delicious texture. And it's picking up, if you can see, the texture of the paper that I have here, which I will bring you down or closer up in a momento. And then go the other way. Do it with a cotton ball. You know, if you don't have anything. Or Kleenex, like I said, a paper towel. It doesn't matter. And you want to drag it, drag it, drag it, drag it. And if you want, and you don't want to just do the leaves, drag it on, because I have stickers and all kinds of stuff. Just take it on whatever you got. You know, now I'm about out of the green, so we'll go on to the blue as soon as I show you. But I have some texture here. It's picking up some of the green. Wonderful. And then just to get any more of the green off, I'll just... So let me turn the green around and show you. Look how good that looks. Now, I'm going to tell you. Now you see how cool that is where it picked up on the paper and all like the... So if you don't do like your molding paste in a stencil and you just kind of put it on and make it fun, it's going to pick up. You know what I mean? You make it funky or whatever, it's going to pick it up. No harm done. Now, here's the thing. If I didn't already know I'm going to kind of go this way horizontally, right? I would probably go back in here with more light of the color, more light of the color, and then go over it a little bit more with the green to make it stand out. But since I know that I'm going to be like doing something over here, whether painting the house or using papers or both or whatever, I'm going to leave it go. I might only do 3 houses. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. So, let's see, when did that come off there? No. So I don't know yet, but I love the fact, and I'm going to turn it around just so you guys can see, because I love it. I love the fact, let's start here, that you can still see everything underneath. You can see colors coming through still. And that's what I love about acrylic paint. Watercolor paint is the same thing. I'm using acrylic, but you can still see, and there's that orange patch I got to decide what to do with. I might even put molding paste on there and leave it dry and just have more texture over there. I think that would be cool. But you can just see all the different textures still poking through. What the hell is it doing? It's doing something. Now, I think this would probably be the better color to go over this. I hardly have any of this left, so let's see if we can get any of this out. I am going to need a new... Oops, I accidentally threw... Now, remember, last piece on here, what do? We save these. We have things coming up to do with these. Save them. I'm going to make you a hoarder yet. If you're not already. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about drawing that, but what I am going to do is turn it around so I can work better. And you know, that piece has been bothering me since I glued it on there and I still hadn't taken it off. Here we go. Let's hope for some, shall we? Yes. Open the lid. It's really dried out, but that's okay. And something else, a little trick. We'll call it Kelly's trick today. Remember, we're just going to do our little bits at a time because you don't want to waste it. When you get down to a bottle, now I obviously still have enough in here, but when you get down to a bottle, when you're like, bam, bam, trying to get it out and you can't, a little bit of warm water in it. Just a little bit, okay? I'm talking like underneath. Shake it. Just shake it, shake it, shake it, because then you have your watered down, and even put like a little tag or a black marker on top, watered down, so you know. But then you would just be directly using this when we go to put on our paints and all, so you don't go to use it to, it doesn't go to waste what's left in there. If you knew, and I shouldn't tell you this about myself, but I will, because use them peeps. One day, I was doing a painting. I was doing a commission for somebody. And people who know me, probably this won't surprise them. I just needed like a little bit more. Like a little bit more. And I didn't want to run out to the store. I wanted to finish it and I wanted a little bit more. And I could feel that there was a little bit of weight left in here, but it would not come out. So what I did was I took my X-Acto knife and I cut down. I'm talking like cut down from like this little ledge all the way down. And opened it up. It was quite a mess. There has to be an easier way to do it. I think if you left it sit like this, you know, sit regular overnight, like kind of like gave it a couple pounds on the table and let it sit, it would all go to the bottom. You probably could just cut the top off. You know what I'm saying? The amount of paint that was left was bizarre. Like I couldn't believe it. So when you think like, I'm done, it's empty, get ready to pitch it. No, add a little zoop of water in it. And shake it, and if you need a little bit of water, do another zoop of it and shake it, and you'll have some really great watered down acrylic paint. You can't go wrong. I do weird things like that. Like I'm like, I just need like, you know what I mean? You just need that like last bit to put that second coat on, and like to run out to the store at the last minute, and it was a commission, and they were so excited, and I was so excited, and I cut that bitch open. Yeah. And maybe I'm not the only wacko that does that. Maybe there are other of you wackos out there like me. But it's just a little tip of Kelly's tip. It might not be the best tip you ever got in the world, but it's a tip nonetheless, and it saves you money, and then you have your watered down paints that you can use, you know, like we did here, and not have to worry. Okay, let's go on to the blue, touching this up now. Very lightly again. Very lightly. I'm adding a little bit more pressure on this one, or these are thicker, one of the two. I don't care. I'm just picking up where all that great texture is of the things we glued on. Oh, I love it when it picks up like the paper underneath. And you can go this way too. You can go whatever way you want. Why I'm going one way. You know, you get different. You hit, like I said, when you hit all the different like nooks and crannies, like the English muffins that I love. And don't be afraid to go over like here I mix. I don't know if I can bring you in. Let's see. If you see here, well, you aren't because I'm zoomed in, and then I want to. Right here is where a mixture of the green and the blue are. But it has great texture. Don't worry. Go over the green with the blue. You're just getting the blue. Go over the green with the blue. Yeah. You're just getting more great, do you know what I mean? Texture that goes along with it. I'd rather you guys see the whole blue as I'm doing it. Oh, it would help if I hit the button. Okay. I'm telling you, fibro fog. It's the worst feeling in the world. I swear. I've never felt so dumb. Okay. So, again, very lightly. I just put fresh paint on, so of course it's going to be more. But just run it. And it's okay to get on your background. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't matter. It's just going to add more. I love the blue and green together. So, I'm going to, like, just run over that a little bit. Just, that looks good. Let's get into this one now. Oh, I got a lot of good texture on that one. my God, my neighbors. If my windows aren't open because it's snowing, icky here. But if they heard me, who is she talking to? She really is a psycho bitch. I've had it out with my neighbor a couple of times. And would be doing it more often if my husband didn't forbid me. And yes, I said it. He forbid me. I've been married to, I've known him since we were 13. I'm 40. God, I turned 44. I used to say I was 42 all the time. I'm not anymore. That's even more depressing today. Wonderful. Oh, it's just joyful. All right. Now I'm going for this corner. But she's just a ignorant girl, and I don't like it. So I just told him, all right, if she pisses me off, then I'll say something, but I won't go out and deliberately say something to her. So we kind of just agree on that. I get along with everybody, but if you piss me off and you're disrespectful, like if I say to you, like Dave has told them like so many times, and Dave gets along with the husband very well. But like when I go for all my treatments and stuff like that, I'm out, like I'm in bed. And when you let your kids out there screaming, like today, for instance, we got a lot of snow. So Dave's out there, he's not even supposed to be doing shoveling or anything because his whole back is just crumbling into nothing. Like the poor man, he's 44, it's a sin. He's out there shoveling and all. And he comes in, he's like, Jesus Christ. And I'm like, what? And he's like, she's out there shoveling, got her 2 kids, one's 6 and one's 4. The 4-year-old is so freaking bad and screams constantly. She's out there going, Mama, I'm freezing. I want to go in. Screaming at the top of her lungs. He's like, I'm trying to shovel just to get it done. And that's all you hear. And she's ignoring the little girl, telling her, well, too bad, you're going to have to wait. And this little girl's 4 years old. Meanwhile, my daughter is saying to my husband, I don't want you to go out and shovel. I'll help you. And my husband's going, no, it's too cold. You stay in. I'll take care of it. It'll be fine. I'll just be easy because it's fluffy right now. But if we wait, it'll start melting and freeze. Blah, 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 blah. And she's like, no. And then I went out there because she had got her purse came in the mail that she had ordered. And she's like, oh, God, you got to see it and watch me put it together. We do weird things. Like when we come home and she buys clothes, she tries them on again so we can, and I pretend like I don't see, I've never seen them. Oh, God. I pretend like I didn't see her try them on when we were in the stores. So I sit in one room, and then she comes out, like, I'm like, oh, how are you today? We do these goofy things. And so I sat with her while she did her purse. I'm sorry. I didn't realize how ridiculous that sounded until I said it. I'm going to just spray a little bit of water on here because it's drying out, and I just want to kind of pick up. But the stuff we do. But yeah, so, and he said to her, no, it's too cold. And, you know, he was like, stay in, I'll get it. It's not a big deal. I just want to be able to get both of us to get to the car and get to the mail and, you know, no big deal. And he's out there in pain, and then he got to hear them. So that's why I'm not allowed to do anything. Well, I can't do anything anyway, but because I would have told her to shut the fuck up and take her kid in the house. Sorry, little Willie. I'm sorry because I know they hate when I curse. Sorry for those who hate it. I'm in a bad mood today. Not because of you guys, because I love you guys. I love you guys. But this orange is just too freaking orange. So we're going to put some plaster on that. I almost did a rhyme there, but you see how I stopped myself? I almost did a little cursey curse. Do you get it? Do you get what I was going to say? I'm going to use some of my fiber paste, and I'm just going to take it on my finger. Because this will give some texture. This is my fiber paste I made, and I'm taking it over the orange. Now, my girl, Tamara, Tilted Asylum, my little love girl, I love her. She told me, which I have tons of, that she makes her, was it molding paste, Tam? Out of paper mache. Yeah, paper mache, because she said to me, why are you using, no, had to be, was it fiber paste? Must have been fiber paste. She uses paper mache. So I have a big thing of paper mache, so I'm going to try to make it out of that too. Because I had mentioned that you can use paper mache on the thing, because I had put it on my recipe, but I forgot to mention that she had said it to me. And then I was like, oh, that's right. That's probably why. But I like to do things that we have at home, but for other people, that can, you know, that you might have it laying around and bought it for something and never used. This is just the toilet paper that I used. Yeah, it had to be this because she was like, toilet paper. This is just the toilet paper I used. So it's just going to sit there and dry. I'm going to cover it back up because the covering is working very well. And just wipe my finger out there for a second. I'll just give it a little bit more texture in there. I might... my nose. Oops. I might want to stick... Let's see if I can do this. And remember, we have our melted things we're going to use too. I wonder if I can push this. I want that fluid in there because that's the glue. But I want to get some texture in there, if that makes sense. Let's see if that did anything. Yeah, a little bit, but I think the squares are too small. Let me try my whole thing. I want to make sure that orange is covered. Okay, we'll just wipe you off. I will try my bigger hole one. I even have a bigger hole one. I just don't feel like I'm getting up and getting it. Let's push you through. So obsessed with the frickin' UK version of Being Human. We started watching it a while back, and then we stopped. I forget why. And then we're back on watching it, and I'm so obsessed. I hate the US version. The UK version is so awesome. It's on Netflix. If you have Netflix, I friggin' love it. I'm a werewolf, well, I'm a vampire lover since little girl, but vampires, werewolves, love it. Can't get enough of it. It's like my new obsession. Plus, I would let the vampire on there turn me into a vampire in a day. And that's as far as I'll go with that. Wonder if I bet you it would melt the thing, though. If I had a hair dryer, this would be a good thing to do. This will probably melt my punchinella. No, I'm just playing and practicing, so I'm playing around, guys. Sorry. But it didn't do shit. Alright. It didn't do what I wanted it to do anyway. So back to just flattening it out and leaving it alone. But you know what? You never learn. I mean, you never know until you try. And then when you try, fun things can happen, can't they? So I'm just going to push this around the orange a little bit because I'll be coloring it. We'll have some extra texture here. Very cool. Did I ever tell you how much I adore you guys? When I wake up to all the emails I get, and the messages, and the emails, and all the stuff I get from you guys, like the beautiful emails, and like on my email accounts, you know, on my knitting and things, and on the YouTube emails, and on Facebook, and everywhere, and you guys have really helped me through these past couple, well, really I'm going to tell you the truth. If you want to know the truth, and I don't like being sentimental and all that shit like that. I hate it. But last year at this time, I wasn't doing this. I was doing something else. I was working for Crafty Link, It was a great experience, great learning experience. I ended up leaving, I think, come February or something like that. I was on there about a year and a half. Great experience and met a lot of people and everything like that. My health had taken, as everybody knows, I think, who have chronic illnesses, you have health issues and they kind of, how you say, like they mellow out for maybe a week or two where you kind of like hit a point where you're like it's like steady of like what you're dealing with. And then all of a sudden the pain and everything kicks up. And it had just happened to me and I just couldn't do Crafty Link anymore, Things Crafty. And I just couldn't do it anymore. And I wanted to be on my own. And then I decided to start doing YouTube videos. At that time, I had 200 viewers. I wasn't really doing many YouTube videos because I was concentrating on Crafty Link. I started doing videos and I grew. I mean, I'm like at 1,600 and I don't know, 20 some people now. And I keep growing and people emailing me and finding me and all these things. And it's like, you guys are just amazing. You're amazing. Not only are you amazing artists and for those who send me, you know, pictures and everything like that and do videos and all that kind of things, but you're just amazing people. And not only the people who are chronically ill, but for like beginners who have found me, I have gotten so many wonderful messages from them. Like, you know, I was so afraid to start clay. I was so afraid to start mixed media. You break it down. You talk us through like everything you do. You make it like you make me believe I can do it. And so I'm going to do it. Like I get so many of them. I read them to my husband all the time and I tell them, him and my daughter, I'm like I got 6 messages today and they like basically say the same things like, thank you. You know, I was afraid watching. Some people do get afraid of watching. And many people have told me this, of watching the, you know, there are, we'll say, more famous people out there than I'm not famous, but only in my mind, who constantly have classes and who constantly are in the magazines and who are constantly, you know, you pay $85 for their class and, you know, whatever and everything, and bless them. I think that's fantastic. I don't have a problem with that. If you get it and you can do it and you get people to pay for it, I think that's great. But for people like me who are on SSI, unfortunately, because I've been ill since I was 28 and don't have the last, when I applied, I tried working and at 40 went for disability and they said, well, the last 10 years you haven't worked enough of the hours to get SSD, so you have to get SSI. And I'm kind of screwed over it. I don't get much because they take my husband's pay into consideration. I do get free, you know, my free disability health care, which I can't complain. You know, the little bit I get from SSI, you know, I pay my credit card bills with, and I put a certain amount away. You know, every month I have a certain amount I spend maybe on art supplies. My husband, of course, will buy me art supplies and everything like that, but I try to do that, or, you know, a pitch in with the bills, but it's not a lot of money at all I get. And, but for me, the medical care is more important because, just one of my, needles I take a week, I take for a month. So it's once a week, can be up to $2,500 a month. So I can't really complain. You know what I mean? At least I'm blessed to have that. So, but, so I started off doing this for people like us, disabled, and who can't go out and buy all the great things and everything like that. But then I get these great emails from people who aren't disabled, but they're just beginners, or they've watched one of my videos. Like I had somebody who said they're going to start watching my mixed media videos, like from beginning to start, because they want to do it with me because they just love how I teach. And then I found out like all these wonderful beginners, healthy, you know, wonderful people are also enjoying these. So it's like for all of you guys, all my subs, that's why I love doing giveaways. That's why I love you know, when you guys ask me questions, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to get back to everybody with the emails. If I missed you, please don't feel left out or that I'm ignoring you. I'm trying. Um, like I said, December has been a wicked month, but you guys have made it so much better for me and have made it more tolerable. I noticed on all the support I got on my son's anniversary of his death, the support I got from you guys, the letters and the messages and packages that I get and letters and emails and just everything. Like you guys made it better for me, and you guys are like my angels in the sense of I hate being smushy. I mean, I'm smushy because I got extra weight on me. I'm belly smushy, but I don't like being all mushy and all that kind of stuff. But you guys really, I had a falling out with a friend, and we've kind of talked since, and that happened right like before my son's anniversary of his death, and I thought I was going to die of just, I don't even know. Just of sadness, and you guys helped me so much through that. So whatever I can do for you guys, I will. You guys are just the best, the best, the best. And I grow every day, not only in my weight, because you know that medicine puts on weight, but I mean in my subs, and I'm so blessed. So thank you guys so much. And I'm almost at an hour, and I'm so sorry. So if any of you made it all the way through, thank you. I didn't mean for it to be this long. I just got very sentimental for a minute because, first of all, I'm not feeling very well, and I'm very emotional, and you guys just helped me sit down and do this kind of stuff and make it worth it in so many more ways than the gratification of making a piece of art for me. So thank you, and I wish you all the luck and blessings in the world. And if you guys ever need anything, you guys know where to find me. If I can help you, if I can help anybody, I will do my best if I'm able. I did a random act of kindness for somebody this Christmas who had no paints and wasn't able to do along with us. And I did it, you know, from the bottom of my heart, out of love and giving to somebody so they can enjoy art, because I believe art saves us in so many different ways, no matter whether you're ill or just having a bad day. For beginners to be able to come to me and say, you don't understand, I watch some of these videos, people don't show us step by step, or the classes are so expensive and I've learned so much from you. I love it. So not only am I helping out disabled people like me, I'm helping out beginners or people who just want to learn a new technique in a different way, and I am just so blessed. So be kind to each other. You never know what battle somebody else is fighting. You know, that's been my motto since day one. I've said it for years. I've been on here since, I don't even know when I started my YouTube. And I say that, you know, my live classes and everything, because you never know. You never know what kind word might make somebody's day. Who might be having a really crappy day. So blessings to all of you. I can't thank you anymore. I don't know any other way to do it except tell you when I win the lottery, you'll all be taken care of. And that's going to happen because I just keep putting it out there in the universe. So, and that's it. So I will see you in the next video with this. Get ready a few stamps and some black ink or paint for the next step, and get ready some, it's called ephemera, but you can get pieces out of your, out of books, little pieces of scrapbook paper, whatever. We're going to do just a little bit of, I don't know. But we are going to think about how you want to do your houses. If you want them to be, if you want to do a house, if you want to do something else, by all means. But I'm going to do maybe like 2 paper and 2 painted. So then everybody can kind of see, you know, whether you want to do paper or painted. So I'm not guaranteeing you what we're doing next part. I know we're going to, you know what, scratch that. Figure out whether you want to paint your houses or make paper houses. That's what we're going to do next, because after we get our houses on, we're going to go back and piece of my brush. And then we're going to go back and do some more stamps and all the extra like fun glitzy stuff. So figure out whether you want to do houses in paper or paint or both, and kind of have an idea in your head of what you want to do. Next video, that's what that'll be. I'm done talking. I'm out. Be kind to each other. You never know about somebody else is fighting. Give me a thumbs up if you like these videos. I really appreciate it. If you came across me by sheer accident or just out of curiosity and you like it, please sub. I love showing all kinds of different things. We have a lot of fun things planned for the new year. I have a giveaway coming up. In the last video, I asked you guys to let me know whether you wanted paper clay or a mixed media giveaway. Make sure you go over to the last video and put down what you want so I can start planning. And that'll be it. So make sure you tag me, guys. And I'm going to put the FLICKR account under here so you guys can upload your pictures onto the FLICKR account so we can see what you guys got going on. Love you guys. Bye.